Thanks, Amy. And I love that you are blue and yellow this day, all in the honor, of course, of our home country. Please sit down. And I don't know if you agree with me, but this is the 4th Stockholm Food Forum, and I feel boosted up with more intellectual, emotional, strategic, and operational energy than ever before on the transformation to a healthy, sustainable food future. I think that has been a real accomplishment. This has been 2 days of boldness, 2 days of power, 2 days of commitment, 2 days of trust. I think we can really talk of ourselves as a partnership community to amplify and accelerate change in the world. We need a central focus, as Bob Geldof pointed out absolutely rightly, but we have it. Food can fix it. I would argue, though, that we might consider re-editing this. Food must fix it. And I think that is a really, really strong message, reinforced by the turbulence caused by he who must not be named. But the red thread, clearly, in my mind during these 2 days, have been about transformation, about innovation, about partnerships, about diversity. Diversity, social, ecologically, but diversity also in deliciousness and equity. It strikes me, actually, when thinking about that, inspired by Yolanda Kakabatse, that perhaps EAT is a bit like a coral reef. 0.2% of the ocean's surface, but actually hosting 25% of the diversity and regulating the stability in the entire system, having a tremendous disproportionate power, potentially just like EAT. Like EAT, coral reefs are the spawning ground of life and new ideas. Ideas coming out of the partnership and the engagement we have here, from royalties to the delegates coming in, and that you engaging so strong in the dialogues, conversations, and actions. And I've heard so many times on the coffee breaks that, this is all good, but I'd like to see even more action, even more concreteness, even more depth. And I think that is something which I would take, and I think we all take in the kind of EAT community, if we can call ourselves that together, as something very, very important and positive. That we have had a privilege of a master of ceremonies, a moderator that, in my mind, goes beyond any species on planet Earth, Femi Oke, whom we would really like to... Femi, I have a dream. I'll never fulfill it, so it's only a dream. I'd love to moderate you sometime.
Anytime.
Yeah, and I'll ask you some really tough questions.
I'm looking forward to it. Bring it on.
We love you.
Thank you.
So much. Panels, yeah. Panels, and I don't know if I dare say it, because Lee Howell is probably still in the room, but slightly better than the World Economic Forum, if I may say so. I mean, really in depth, really at the cutting edge, really challenging, like Corinne just now. I think that has been fantastic. And launching new initiatives. I think that is important to remember. I mean, we're all feeling this urge of moving faster and really not seeing enough action. But when the roadmap towards a new food economy was launched, the FOLLOW initiative, with the World Economic Forum, with the World Business Council, with Jeremy Oppenheimer, who led the new climate economy, that is big. It is really a big new initiative. When the Fresh platform on business solutions, with now almost 40 multinational companies under the auspices of EAT and WBCSD, is now running out, and to really integrate sustainable, healthy food in the business models, asking science to come with the numbers, we need them now, that to me is action. So many calls for dialogues with finance. Are we getting the investors really on board? And we need to do more about that. The chefs, the C40 network, things are happening, and things are happening at the pauses. And so many of you have said that the best creative time is the action in the breakfast rooms, in the coffee breaks, and that we're now, I think, really, based on trust, moving ahead. So I can really hope that this is worth it for all of you as it's been worth it for me and all of us. Because like EAT, coral reefs are beautiful, full of surprise, with a diverse collision, of hardworking, academically based parrotfish, with the slow but persistent policymaking potato fish, with the business actors from big fish like the Keystone actors we had with us, the tiger sharks, to the small startups, triggerfish like Uma Valetti's Memphis Meats. That is what we wanted to do, a wide tent, get a collision, new ideas. Because operationally, we really want to ask you actually, and you have to give that feedback, is the Competence Fora the way to connect the plenaries for inspiration with the operational digging deep and moving ahead? Have you felt that these Competence Fora really gave you a tool to move forward? I hope so. In the data competence forum that I participated with, we really got an agenda moving forward. Please come forward for the next year with the next agenda setting for the Competence Fora. That will be fantastic and really, really important. This year, we've also been able to, while being here at Clarion Sign, more than twice as much social media than last year across the world, which is a remarkable achievement of this dialogue we've seen here. The hashtags EatForum and Food Can Fix It have been top trending in Sweden and beyond, and that is something that we should also emphasize as a key feature here. Like EAT, coral reefs are a planetary island of inspiration and novelty. We depend on coral reefs. I think we can say we depend on EAT. But not everyone knows of it yet. And it's time to amplify. And remember that there will now be an EAT Asia Pacific Food Forum, 30th to 31st of October in Indonesia this year, mandated actually by the Indonesian government. And like coral reefs, EAT faces the biggest threats to humanity. As coral collapse due to bleaching and climate change, EAT addresses the dire human risks of collapse due to unsustainable and unhealthy food systems. So this is something that is really critical, that we're taking on potentially the most important and most dire challenge of humanity, but we're sitting with the best story of humanity because we have so much of the solutions. We need to get this story out. But we would never, ever have been able to do it unless we have had fantastic food. So a big clap for the amazing cuisine during these 2 days. The cooks in the building here presenting a menu that has been so inspiring. What would we have done without the rapporteurs of all our competence fora, which are now documenting the outputs of our work? So a big clap for the rapporteurs and a great gang that has really helped us right through. Please note these dates. See you soon again, 11th, 12th of June. We are a platform to take part, to take action, to take the lead for transformative change. Coral reefs are critical for the stability of the planet. I would argue that equally, EAT is critical to amplify the global movement towards a safe food future for humanity on Earth. So please, Food Can Fix It. Let's keep the momentum going. Thank you so much. And I've been informed that I'm the last voice here. I'm not used to this, but there's mingle and drinks out here, so don't leave the hotel for whatever you're doing. See you out there.